we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order. All right, we're going to call the meeting to order. That means sit down, Liz. You too, Sharon. You too, Sharon. Sit down. All right, it's 8 p.m. As acting moderator, Sharon, I'm talking to you. Come on, Sharon. I'm acting moderator, Margaret Horton. I'm going to call the meeting to order at 8 p.m. I'm going to ask our clerk, Betsy Brown, to take the roll.
Ken Astorita, Peter Britton, Melissa Longo, Brooks Baracino, Tara Cook-Littman, Megan McCloat,
Here.
Chris Shea, Bob Elwinger, Mike Hardigan, Jeff Steele, Cindy Waldron. District 4, do you have an announcement to make?
Push right now.
Just pushing. That's it.
Good evening, Liz Esma, District 4. I'm happy to announce that due to the resignation of our now select woman, Marcy Spoliar, our district voted for Jennifer Hahuth, who is here at her first meeting. She was sworn in today, and I'd like to welcome her to the body.
Jen Hahuth, Laura Carson, Michelle McCabe, Liz Esma, Josh Garskoff,
Here.
Kristen O'Neill, Sharon Pastilli, Jay Walk, Rob Blanchard, Nancy Donnie, Eric Juniak, Alex Ocampo, Steve Barretts, Lori Galdenzi, John Kuhn, Scott Nickel,
Here.
Lenny Brayman,
Here.
Chris Carroll, Colin Colburn, Christine Ludwizak, Drew Georgiadis, Lisa Havey, Mark McDermott, Karen Wackerman,
Here.
Maddie Ambrose,
Here.
Justin Contrado,
Here.
Margaret Horton,
Here.
Pierre Ratsky.
All right, I'm going to ask us all to stand for the pledge. All right. Representative Barretts.
Steve Barretts, District 7. I'd like to make a motion to bring item 6 to the front of the agenda.
Okay, so the motion is to bring the item to elect a moderator and deputy moderator to the top of the agenda, seconded by Representative Havey. Any discussion? All those in favor? Any opposed? And any abstentions? Okay, I'm going to turn it over to First Selectman Vitale to lead that item.
Hi, everybody. Christine Vitale, First Selectman. Can I have any nominations for moderator? Representative McDermott.
Thank you, Madam First Selectman Vitale. Mark McDermott, District 9. First of all, I would like to congratulate Marcy Spoliar. I just want to say I think she did a great job in the last year and 3/4 running this meeting, and thank you and congratulations. I would like to nominate Margaret Horton as the moderator for the next 3 meetings starting tonight. I've known Margaret on this body for 3 terms now. I spent a lot of time with her in the past on the Ed and Rec Committee. I know her to be thoughtful, smart, and have a real calm demeanor and would be perfect to lead us going forward. I also think it's a natural transition that the deputy moderator should move into the moderator spot as we go forward. So thank you, Madam First Selectwoman, and I hope you all join me in supporting Margaret Horton.
Can I have a second? Representative Rock. What? No? Oh, we just second. All right, I wasn't sure. All in favor of Margaret Horton for moderator?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Congratulations.
Thank you. And to echo Representative McDermott's sentiments, have very big shoes to fill, and I'm very grateful to Marcy for her steady leadership on our body over the last year and a half. And so we need to also have, Representative McCabe.
Michelle McCabe, District 4. I would like to nominate Rob Blanchard from District 6 to be the deputy moderator. I have known Rob for quite some time and have been impressed not only with his thoughtfulness, but his knowledge of all of the issues, his fairness. He's a person that listens a lot more than he speaks. And when he speaks, we all listen to him because he always has something important to say. He comes with 6 years of experience serving in Middletown ahead of coming here on both their Common Council and their town planning and zoning. And I know that he will be able to step into the role readily in support of the body and in support of Moderator Horton. Congratulations. So I hope that you will join me in nominating Rob Blanchard for the role of deputy moderator. And he also will be able to read the chat without wearing glasses. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Thank you. Thank you, Representative McCabe. Do I have a second? Representative Carson. Any discussion? All those in favor of Rob Blanchard as deputy moderator, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? Congratulations, Rob. Come on up. Feel like the price is right. He has glasses, by the way, so. Um, So our next item, we have the charter revision language was the only item on the consent calendar this month. Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar? Representative O'Neill, seconded by Representative Ratsky. Any discussion on this? Okay. Any public comment? Okay. All those in favor of the consent calendar, which is just the one item? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? And abstentions? Oh, I didn't know the number. So that maybe I don't need, that motion carries. Thank you. Okay. All right. Moving along, we have the item number 4 on the agenda, the appointments to the Dwight Building Committee. Last week, we heard from Lauren Efron, Peggy Macaluso, and John Purcell. I believe the other 3, Mr. Peterson is, as the BOE chair, is a member of that committee. And then I believe we have Joseph Diorio, Nicole Olson, and Deanna Palizzo, and I apologize if I've mispronounced anyone's names. Do we have, let's see, Joseph Diorio is online. Great. If you could just tell us a little bit about yourself and why you would like to serve on this committee. Oh, sorry. We need a motion. Representative McCabe to approve, seconded by Representative Pistilli. Thank you. Sorry, Mr. Diorio. Oh. Can we unmute him?
Hello, everyone. How are you today? So I've been a town resident for about 18 years and been involved in construction management for 20 years. Majority of that time in Connecticut, building a variety of different types of commercial buildings, from K-12 schools, hospitals, higher university projects. I have a pretty in-depth background in construction management, understanding both contracts from the owner side, the construction management side, as well as the design side, as well as managing projects from pre-construction through closeout, and feel that my skill set and experience would benefit the town of Fairfield. And I welcome the opportunity to contribute to the town.
Thank you so much. Do we have any questions for Mr. DiOrio? Okay. Representative Shea.
Hi, Mr. DiOrio, Representative Shea from District 2. Thank you for your willingness to serve on this important committee. I wondered, are you aware of the time constraints and the length, the duration of time that is going to be involved to be a member of this committee?
Yes, I am assuming it's probably, depending on referendum, it's a 3 to 4 year commitment.
Okay, great. And you said that you have quite a bit of experience in commercial and institutional construction. I think that's wonderful. And have you worked as a construction manager on a public elementary or primary school before?
Yes, so as far as physically working on site, I have not, but I've negotiated and been involved in pursuits on multiple public K through 12 projects, as well as other public projects in the public sector.
Okay, thank you so much for your willingness to serve.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional questions for Mr. DiOrio? Okay. And I believe we have Nicole Olson here. If you wouldn't mind coming up to the podium and just telling us a little bit about yourself and why you'd like to serve on this committee.
Hi, my name's Nicole Olson. I have my oldest son, Cooper, just started kindergarten at Dwight. And my first meeting at Dwight was going into the one where it was Mr. Gerber and the superintendent and Lauren, and lots of questions, lots of tension. My background is interior design. I did work for a couple different construction companies under all different things, mainly sales. Nothing crazy, nothing as experienced as Mr. DiOrio. And then from there, I went on to own my own architectural glass company, which I recently sold. So I have a little more free time with my new ventures. I worked on some of the larger projects, were UBS Arena. I did a lot with colleges with smart boards, things of that nature that we used to bring in. And I did a lot with sourcing from overseas. But my main reason to do this was to actually more help the moms and dads of Dwight understand the construction process. I noticed that there was a lot of, well, this didn't happen, what's that, what's this, and just having a little bit more construction knowledge than some parents, wanting to be the liaison to kind of bring a little bit of the tension that's rightfully there down and make them a little more informed of, no, we couldn't do that because this step comes first, and just be a good liaison between the town and the parents.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Do we have any questions for Ms. Olson? All right. Thank you. And I believe Deanna Polizzo, and I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. All right, Dina Polizzo. Thank you. Thank you for correcting
All
me.
those vowels. Exactly. My name's Dina Polizzo. I've been a resident of Fairfield for over 30 years. I've lived in various parts of the town. I'm currently up by Fairfield University. I have over 30 years of commercial real estate experience on both the development and the finance side. Recent projects around here that somebody may know is I was involved in 5520 Park Avenue, which is the Bridgeport Hospital site, as well as I just recently did the Connecticut Children's Facility in Westport. So although I have no experience building schools, I do have construction experience and finance experience. And I'm looking forward to giving something back to Fairfield, where I love living here, and I feel like this town gives so much to us. I just love to be able to give back in an area where I think I can make a contribution.
Thank you so much. Any questions for Ms. Polizzo? All right. Any public comment on this item? All right.
Very briefly, Jeff Peterson, 133 Martin Avenue. I am by statute going to be a member of this committee, but I also feel very honored to be on this committee. I think we have not, as a town, built a new school in 20 years. And so it's going to be a big project. And I think that we should feel blessed that we can dip into the pool of talent and expertise that this town has to put together a building committee, which I think is as deep as this one is. And also props to First Selectman Vitale for putting this together. But I would encourage you to get this moving. I know that members and the public are eager to have it started, and we have a lot of work to do ahead of us. So I encourage you to vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Any other comments? Okay, so we're going to vote for all 6 of these members as one item. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
And any abstentions? All right, congratulations to all 6 members, and thank you for your service. I know this is something that the Dwight community is really, and the whole town is really eagerly looking to see this project move forward. So thank you. So the next item is to consider and act upon an ethics ordinance sponsored by Ken Astorita, District 1, Jeff Steele, District 2, Laura Carson, District 4, Liz Zezima, District 4, Kristen O'Neill, District 5, and Karen Wackerman, District 9. And tonight we, to the legislation. Sorry, do I have to read the whole? Thank you. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So do I have a motion to a Representative Zezima? And I guess we need to amend the. Representative McDermott. Bear with
So-
me as I get my bearings here.
It's all right. I don't know what I'm doing up here. No. Liz Esmond, District 4, and I know that Representative Wackerman does have some amendments to introduce. I'm going to stay up here, and anybody else who's a sponsor can come up if there are questions to ask, but if you could proceed with the proposed amendments.
Sure, through you, Madam Moderator.
Actually, I'm sorry, Representative Wackerman, I think because the item,
Oh, we have to motion.
we have to motion, because since there's a typo on there, we have to fix that first.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
All right. So can I do that, Madam Moderator?
Please.
I motion to, which I don't think I have with me. Thank you very much, Town Clerk. Okay, so item number 5, I motion to delete all the words after Karen Wackerman, District 9. So that would be to the Legislation and Administration Committee under Rule 32 of the RTM Rules to Regulate.
Thank you. And seconded by Representative Pistilli. Any discussion on this amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right.
Thank you. So next item would be for Representative Wackerman. I don't have all the language in front of me, so if she could introduce to the body the amendments, and I would make a motion to, yes, I'd like to make a motion for the amendments to be presented to the body.
Absolutely. Representative Wacker, seconded by Representative Pistilli.
Yeah.
Thank you, Representative Wackerman. Go for it.
Okay, thanks. So my first suggestion is that my first motion to amend is section 21-4A to delete the phrase "or the appearance of conflicts of interest." And the reason for that is that if it stays in there, it's possible somebody could be brought before the Ethics Commission just for the appearance of conflicts of interest. And there's already kind of broad language in the purpose section at the beginning that it's for both actual and potential conflicts are to be avoided. So it seems unnecessary also. That's my first. Should I just read them all and they'll be voted on
please.
together? Okay. The second suggestion is section 21-7 to amend the second sentence to read, "The reporting system shall be available 24/7 for people to file reports and delete the rest. The reason for that is that the reporting system phone number and email address may change over time, so that including that adds confusion. Another amendment is the last sentence of 21-7, and to amend that to read, all complaints that are received through the town's ethics reporting hotline shall be transmitted to Human Resources and the Ethics Commission. And the reason for the change is just to change are transmitted to shall be transmitted so that it's more directive. Next is to amend section 21-2M, which is the definition of public official. Let's see, well, I'll read the whole thing. It's long, but before I do, the concept is to add committee members as public officials, because, for example, building committees, which we just approved, should be, I think, should be bound by this ethics ordinance as well. And the other is to clarify something about public officials, which I'll explain. So the amendment would be to read, public official means a person elected or appointed to a town of Fairfield board, commission, authority, including but not limited to the boards, commissions, and authorities set forth in section 1.4A of the charter, or committee, or appointed to a town office set forth in section 1.4B of the town charter. Provided, however, that if a public official is also an employee of the town, the ethics policy of the town and any contract with the town that is applicable to such public official shall take precedence in the event of a conflict with this ordinance, except when such public official is alleged to have violated this ordinance only in their capacity as a member of a board, commission, or authority. So that's in case a public official, such as the tree warden, is in section 1.4B, I believe. He is also an employee of the town. So this change is intended to provide that as an employee, he's bound by the employee rules and ethics rules and other things. But if he were also to serve on a board or commission, he would be bound by this ethics ordinance. And then the final change is in section 21-8. And this is the section that's about providing a copy of the Ethics Commission to new members on the boards and commissions. So my first suggestion is to change 60 days to 90 days to give more time to the town clerk to give out the ordinance. The reason for that is, especially after an election, that office is very busy. So this would give them a little more time. And then also to delete the last sentence of that section, because I think obtaining receipts and keeping track of them is very burdensome and maybe impossible. So I think it's probably wiser to take that obligation out of that section. Those are all the amendments I propose.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any discussion? Representative Steele.
Oh, yeah. Jeff Steele, District 3. Karen, do you have that? Like, is there any way we can look at that and read it? I mean, I know we all just heard it, just a lot to process. Is there a written or hard copy of that at all?
Yes, I don't know. Let's see. Yes, I can certainly have it emailed to you. I don't have everybody's address, but yes.
I can, probably the quickest way, to be honest, the quickest way right now is probably just to send it to the RTM Fairfield address.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's easy. That's quicker than me putting in a distribution.
Yep. Okay.
I just want to like read it or at least hear it one more time.
Yeah, no, I
And
understand.
the other thing is you, in one of the sections you mentioned public official defined as someone who is elected or appointed. Is that defined in the ordinance, or is that what you're saying? You defined it later on?
It is, there is a definition of public official, so this was an amendment to that.
Okay.
It's already in there.
Would you want that definition at the beginning though, just as we read through the ordinance?
It is at the beginning.
the
I think
beginning? Okay.
I think I proposed the amendments not necessarily in numerical order um, to everybody. So is that what you meant? I think so.
All right, yeah, I guess I thought it was later in the ordinance where you were defining public official. I thought that would be better in the early part, but sounds like you handled that.
Yeah.
This is the amendment right here? Oh, okay. Are you able to even email that right now or reread it?
That's what I'm working on it right now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
That will be the quickest way, I think.
Yeah. I get it. I think that's true.
While we wait for Representative Wackerman to send that email, any other questions? Oh, sorry, I can't see. Representative Garskoff.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. I would like to make a motion to separate the first item, which is the one about taking out the language for an appearance of conflict of interest. I'd like to subdivide that because I am not in favor of that change.
Okay. Oh, this is very hard without the language in front of me.
I know, I know.
That's okay.
And this was my bad. I didn't get it to everybody in time. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I have part of it. So hold on. Let's see. We have we have a motion to amend the amendment on the table from Representative Garskoff. Do I have a second? Representative Pistilli. Okay. So right now, God, really, guys, for my first meeting? Okay. So this motion is to simply separate out the change in 21-4A. Thank you. Okay. And so it's Representative Garskoff, I apologize. Will you just repeat what exactly language you want to see in this?
I just don't want to make that change. The first change, that change to the language about the appearance of conflict of interest. I would like to not make that
Okay.
change.
It would be keeping as the original version that was submitted to us, which is, it would read, all public officials must avoid conflicts of interest or the appearance of conflicts of interest. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any discussion on that? Representative Georgiadis. Oh, sorry. Thank you. All right. Sorry, guys. Really, I'm telling you, summer I turned pretty. So do I have, let's see, all those in favor of breaking that item out? All those opposed? One. Okay, and any abstentions? Just breaking out that one piece of, nope. Right now, we're just breaking out that one singular in 21-4A to break that specific line out to be voted on separately. Okay, and that carries. I'll pull it up on mine. Thank you. Okay, so now we can go back and we need a motion to, oh, sorry, I can't see behind me. Representative Carroll, go for it.
Yeah, thank you, Margaret, or Madam Moderator, my apologies. This is a message to Karen, and I'm curious, during that 90-day period, people aren't notified of the ethics policy. Does that mean they're immune to its guidance?
No, it's an ordinance, so everyone in town is obligated to obey the law whenever. But also, the charter requires every board and commission and the RTM at the first meeting after the election, at the first meeting, I think, after people are elected, I think that's right, to tell people they're obligated to comply with the ethics ordinance.
Thank you.
Sure.
Is there anybody else online that was waiting? Okay.
Madam Moderator, I did send that,
Oh, thank you.
so hopefully people are getting it.
We're going to get a test of our email system. Yep, there we go. Representative McCabe, I believe you had your hand up.
Michelle McCabe, District 4. Through you, Madam Moderator, can I request that Representative Wackerman reread her amendment to the section of the ethics ordinance that was pulled out based on our last vote?
Absolutely.
Um, Okay, give me 1 second. Michelle, you mean the original language? I'll read both. So the language as it is now in 21-4A says all public officials must avoid conflicts of interest or the appearance of conflicts of interest. So my proposal is to have it read, all public officials must avoid conflicts of interest.
Okay. And so we are, well, first they're just separated out. And so why don't we take that item first, which is simply the amendment to 21-4A. Do I have a motion to approve that specific amendment? Representative O'Neill, seconded by Representative Barrett. Okay, any discussion on that? I think this would be Representative, can I see? I was going to say, I'm thinking that's Representative Garskoff online.
Yep,
Representative
thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to say, I would like to vote this down personally. That'll be my vote. I feel that we as a body and all elected officials and appointed officials of this town should not only avoid conflicts of interest, but should also avoid the appearance of conflicts of interest. I think that is important for the public trust. And I also think that there's sometimes a hard line to really see whether it's just the appearance or whether there really is a conflict. And I feel that just having the appearance would be a bad thing, and we should all hold ourselves to the highest standard. Thanks.
Thank you, Representative Garskoff. Any further discussion? Any public comment on this? Anyone online? Okay, so we are voting right now on just 21-4A, which the amended item would read, hold on, let me pull up Karen's. Okay, would read, sorry, lots of tabs. All public officials must avoid conflicts of interest, period. All those in favor? I think we may need a roll call on this one. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, so we did. We divided the item out, and Attorney Pierce, tell me if I've screwed up here. Okay, we have divided the amendment out, and so now we're just focusing on that first amendment, which is the 21-4A, which currently what was submitted was all public officials must avoid conflicts of interest or the appearance of conflicts of interest. The amendment Representative Wackerman proposed would now read all public officials must avoid conflicts of interest, period. And so that is the current item on the table. Representative Waldron. Question. So we're going to go back. Pretend we didn't vote yet. You have to press it? No. Oh, no, you don't. Sorry.
Oh, excellent. Cindy Waldron, District 3. And I'm sorry to go back to this, but I just wanted clarification from probably Karen. Did you mention when you first presented this that you felt it was redundant because it was spoken about elsewhere in this ordinance, or did I misunderstand that? If you could clarify, I would appreciate it.
Sure. Yes, I did say in the statement of purpose at the very beginning, the second bullet point says that every public official should conduct themselves in a manner that will preserve public confidence, et cetera, including by avoiding both actual and potential conflicts between their self-interests. So that's pretty close to what we're deleting here. And it's already, that way it's part of the purpose. It's something people should be having in mind, but it's not something that they could be brought before the Ethics Commission for just for the appearance of a conflict.
So the part you're eliminating, would it make it more of a, no, hold hold on, how do I want to say this? Sorry. If we eliminate it, is it actionable still?
Not the appearance of a conflict.
Okay, so this
Um,
is all appearance only.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Sorry.
Or
Thank you, Representative Waldron. Representative Astorita.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Congratulations. Ken Astorita, District 1. I make sure I'm saying this correctly. I agree with removing the language with the appearance of an appearance of a conflict of interest is not a conflict of interest. The ordinance, the intent of the ordinance, it's to protect from real, actual conflict of interests. And what I wouldn't like to see is the gray areas that we could get into with respect to evaluating appearances of conflict of interest. And I also don't think it would be right for somebody to have to come before the Ethics Commission, because by virtue of an appearance, whether you have an actual conflict of interest or not is going to raise questions that maybe would cast aspersions on somebody that aren't necessary. So I think I agree with the amendment to remove the appearance of and stick directly with conflicts of interest. I hope I said that clearly. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Astorita. I'm sorry, Representative Ludwig, I didn't realize you were waiting. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you very much. Christine Ludwig-Zach, District 8. I guess I would just want to put forth the thought that the appearance of a conflict of interest would also warrant further exploratory, questioning. And wouldn't that be the purpose or the role of the Ethics Committee along those lines to further explore that? So I think I would feel more comfortable having all bases covered with whether it's an actual conflict of interest or an appearance of. I think that's just, I guess, something where my thought goes along those lines. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Ludwig. Representative Georgiadis.
Drew Georgiadis, District 9. Couldn't remember if I was supposed to push the button or not. Through you, Madam Moderator, to Representative Wackerman, there was a discussion about Robert's Rules of Order and how they also require an ethics level of appearance or rules. Can you discuss that and how it overlays with this ordinance that we're voting on?
I don't have that in front of me. I think it defines, it talks more about conflicts of interest than appearance of conflicts of interest. I have to say Representative Ludwig-Zach's point is persuading me to perhaps withdraw my motion, but I'll leave it on the table so everybody can vote. But I think maybe that's the crux of it, that if it's an appearance, it needs to be investigated, and if it's not really a conflict, it won't be actionable. But I'm sorry, Representative Georgiadis, I don't really have that in front of me, but it would be something we would read in conjunction with this ordinance because this body's bound by Robert's rules.
As is the Ethics Committee, correct?
Right. That's
Right. I don't know if Representative Steele or Attorney Pierce, who have both taught Robert's Rules of Order, have any feedback on this. Thank you.
Thank you. Representative McCloat, I believe you've been waiting.
Yes, thank you. Megan McCloat, District 2. I'm also inclined to agree with Representative Garskoff and Representative Ludwig at this point. I think historically we've seen a couple of instances where there's a very fluid interpretation of the conflict of interest term, and absent a definition of a conflict of interest, although we may all think we understand that, the mere appearance of an impropriety, I think, does necessitate the need to investigate it. I do think that's the entire purpose of the Ethics Commission. Obviously, there's multiple layers to what could justify a bona fide conflict of interest in the typical legal definition of it, but there's also a lot of more extraneous interpretations, which could still create serious fiduciary risk on behalf of the town, serious ethical risk. It could extrapolate all the way to a member of a committee who oversees perhaps a funding allocation, also being on the board of a nonprofit. It could be a lot of different interpretations that might not otherwise fit in a direct definition of a conflict of interest. And because we don't have a definition, I do think including the term appearance of is something that would just further protect our town, further protect all of us, and make sure that we're holding ourselves to the highest level of standards. So I appreciate Representative Garskoff for separating this and proposing it this way, and I'm inclined to agree with them. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative McClote. Representative Ratsky?
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Pierre Ratsky, District 10. I think appearance is too nebulous in this context. I mean, this entire ordinance has teeth. To punish someone for the mere appearance seems to be overbroad. And I don't think there's any bar to investigating when there is an appearance and discovering whether there is an actual conflict of interest. And the fact that earlier in the ordinance it says that members should conduct themselves in a way that both avoids actual and appearance of conflicts of interest, I think covers that fairly well. Having this language here eliminated makes sense to me because this is the part that has the most teeth, and getting to the heart of the matter, whether there is an actual conflict of interest, seems to me the most important thing, as opposed to having this overbroad definition of whether there's a mere appearance of a conflict of interest, which could leave it open to punishing people for merely appearing, which is a very subjective term, to have a conflict of interest. So I support the original amendment to eliminate this provision. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Ratsky. Representative Rock?
Dave Rock, District 2. I have a problem with appearance as well. I think appearance is nebulous, and I think I'll give a real world scenario. You guys remember, I guess last year, you know, I live on Hoydens Hill, and of course, I didn't want to see the driving range have the tracker technology, and so I fought against that. And what would happen? So since I'm there, and it could be that I have the appearance, okay, of some. It's almost like you can't fight for your own neighborhood because you might have the appearance that that's, you know, in your own best interest. So I mean, I'm not a lawyer, but I think appearance is nebulous, and I think that we have to really watch ourselves when we're thinking about ethics ordinances that have an appearance that it might help me for my street and my interests solely to push back on something. So I think we should be careful what we're wishing for.
Thank you, Representative Rock. Representative Steele. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? There's people who haven't spoken first. So Representative Carson.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Through you to Representative Wackerman, I'm just a little confused about when we have it in the statement of purpose. Both actual and potential conflicts. First of all, is potential conflicts the same? Can you hear me now? Is potential conflicts, that's not the same thing as appearance, is it? Appearance of a conflict?
I don't know. I think it could be. I don't know.
So, yeah, I'm not sure what that means.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure why it's in there.
Well, I guess it's saying try to avoid doing something which might end up becoming a conflict, which is a little different from the appearance of conflict.
Okay, because I was saying if you have it there and that's the appearance of conflict, and it seems to me it's in conflict later on when you just have conflict and not appearance. So I would like them to be consistent. So That's why I would think we need to clean that up a little bit, or where it's consistent. But as far as Representative Rock's worry about that being an appearance of conflict, I think that nobody would really seriously take that. I think that would be thrown out right away, dismissed, summarily dismissed, because you have every right to advocate if you live there and you feel that you live there and you could feel the effects. You have every right to express that. I don't think anyone would argue because you live in a certain district, you're not allowed to vote on something because you'll be seen as, having a personal interest in it. So I agree with Josh, Representative Garskoff, that I would like to keep it in there. And a lot of them, if it's frivolous, it'll be thrown out. And if it's really something, then it should be addressed.
Thank you, Representative Carson. So I have on the list of representatives that have spoken and want to speak again, I have Steele, Garskoff, and Rock, and Representative Colburn, you've not spoken.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Colin Colburn, District 8. I would echo what has been said since Representative Garskoff has said that this should stay in. I think it should stay in as well. I think perception is reality, and the reality is that government is at an all-time low when it comes to trust. This is a higher bar, a higher standard that we're putting in here. And I think that that gives better perception to the public that we do care about things like ethics in a serious way. Even though I do agree that there is vagueness that is a challenge, I think the higher order priority is establishing better trust.
Thank you, Representative Colburn. Is there any other representatives who have not yet spoken who wanted to say something? Okay, so I'm going to go back. I have Representative Steele first.
Thank you. Jeff Steele, District 3. I was just looking at Robert's Rules because Phil and I were asked sort of what Robert's Rules says. And in the book, it does say, obviously, first you need a definition for conflict of interest, which it must be defined somewhere. But in case we wanted to define it, conflict of interest is a question of direct personal or monetary interest that is not common to other members of the organization. I've been thinking about this. I mean, generally when amendments come to us, they should come to us earlier in writings. We can think about them. I'm just going to put that out there. Anyways, in thinking about this, I think I agree with Representative Astrida and Rock in that it is vague. And what if someone really does not have a conflict of interest, but it appears like they do? And I don't know what example, I don't know what case, but I think it is clear just to say avoid conflict of interest. Just avoid the conflict of interest. Avoiding the appearance, like it's just, there are probably cases where someone is not committing that at all and perhaps looks like it. And it opens up another door. Yes, if it is happening, it's going to happen and they're going to be caught, I think. So I think it creates more problems than if we were to take it out, which is so definitive. Avoid conflict of interest. If you have any conflict of interest violation, you're going to be nailed for that. End of story. And it takes away any ambiguity, in my opinion.
Thank you, Representative Steele. I apologize, Representative Brayman, you had been waiting and hadn't spoken yet. So before we keep going to people that have spoken already, please go for it.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. I wasn't waiting long. Lenny Brayman, District 8. I agree with Representative Steele. I think that the appearance of a conflict is often in the eye of the beholder. And I don't know that we want the Ethics Commission to have the power or, in fact, the obligation to investigate and punish what may be only an appearance of a conflict, when in fact there is no actual conflict. I think the only way that the appearance of a conflict of interest comes up is in the absence of an actual conflict, such as when somebody says, I don't have a conflict of interest, yet I'm going to recuse myself from this matter to avoid even the appearance of any impropriety or any conflict.
Thank you, Representative Brayman. I'm going to keep going with, is there anybody else who hadn't spoken yet? Okay. So Representative Garskoff, back to you.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. I think Attorney Pierce is in the room, although I'm not sure, but I've heard him reference as if he was. If so,
Yes,
through you, Madam Moderator, could he come up and maybe speak to this question and his thoughts about this?
That would be lovely. Attorney
Thank
Pierce.
I mean, it's really a policy question for you guys to decide on whether you want the appearance of a conflict to be something that is potentially an ethics violation to be investigated. I mean, I think that's the consequence of it being in that section. I think it's a policy decision for you guys to make. Not really for me to say as town attorney whether that's a good policy or a bad policy.
So I'm going to ask a question then. So to clarify, can I ask a question? So to clarify, by if the motion were to pass to delete the language, the appearance of conflicts of interest, it does not, please confirm for me, it does not preclude an ethics, like a complaint being addressed. It's just simple. Is it simply saying that it is not punishable? Thank you. The
Yeah,
appearance.
so this language is in section 21.4, and this is where you actually are stipulating what public officials can and can't do. So the ordinance as drafted says that they must avoid conflicts or the appearances of conflicts of interest. So that would make the appearance of a conflict something that potentially is a violation of the ordinance. Now, whether or not the Ethics Commission wants to impose discipline because of appearance only, if they determine it's not a conflict, that's a different issue. But conflicts are still subject to discipline and investigation. And as long as the Ethics Commission finds that there's probable cause or they have a sworn complaint, they're going to investigate. So if it is colorable, that they find there's probable cause. So I think that answers the question.
Thank you, Attorney Pierce. I believe Representative Garskoff was back up.
No, that's it. I just wanted to ask for Attorney Pierce to speak. I didn't have anything else.
Okay.
I've said my piece.
Thank you so much. I also had on my list of people who wanted to return was Representative Rock.
I wanted to, did a little scrolling. So appearance of conflict, okay? Appearance of conflict. The circumstances create a perception of potential bias, even if no actual favoritism or personal gain is occurring, okay? I'll say it again. Appearance of conflict is the circumstances create a perception of potential bias, even if no actual favoritism or personal gain is occurring, okay? That is pretty broad. That's pretty I can point at Drew and Drew, you can't talk about that because you live in the neighborhood. There's a perception, of bias. And that is really overarching. That's really big. And so there could be a lot of finger pointing at just about anybody for anything. And so I would just say we might need to back off of this because we're going to create a mess. That's all.
Thank you, Representative Rock. I have Representative McCloat, and then Astorita and Georgiadis of people who wanted to return. So Representative McCloat.
Megan McCloud, District 2. Thank you, Madam Moderator. Through you to Attorney Pierce, I think it might be helpful for us all to understand the process by which a complaint is filed and who gets to determine whether there is a conflict of interest. Because it would appear to me that determination is made by the Ethics Commission, and then we then investigate and decide if we're going to apply the ordinance and if it's a punishable offense. If the option is that the conflict of interest is determined by the person filing the complaint, then I think we've already given a broad enough definition that it's up to the eye of the beholder. So I think it would be very helpful for us all to understand if the appearance of conflict is up to the person who files a complaint, or is it deemed and determined by the members of the Ethics Commission who are bound to follow the Roberts Rules of Order. Thank you.
So, I mean, ultimately, it's up to the Ethics Commission to interpret the ordinance. I don't think the term appearance here means the appearance in the eye of the complainant, although that's what they would be alleging. They would be alleging that it's a violation. I mean, the process for how complaints are handled is set forth in the charter. in some detail. And, but basically, if the Ethics Commission thinks that the Ethics Commission will, if they accept the complaint, they do a probable cause investigation. It's set forth in the charter. So if they get a complaint and they think it's colorable enough to investigate, they have a probable cause investigation, and that's when they investigate. But it's up to the commission to decide that and determine that.
And anything else, Representative McCloat?
Just as a follow-up, really, as a statement, then, it would seem to me that the Ethics Commission is already tasked and charged with investigating what could be an appearance of conflict of interest. So keeping the language in, as Representative Garskoff recommended, probably only facilitates exactly the process of which they're already undergoing. And I don't see the harm in allowing that. You know, I really do believe that the utmost analysis of any potential conflict of interest only serves to further the trust, but also further the integrity of all of us on this body, on every commission, and on behalf of all of our constituents. So that's all. Thank you.
Thank you. I have Representative Astorita.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. Ken Astorita, District 1. So just a clarification for Attorney Pierce. So what you're saying is the way the ordinance is written now, if the words appearance stays in, a person could theoretically be sanctioned for an appearance, although not necessarily an actual conflict of interest. Am I understanding that correctly?
I mean, you're stipulating that public officials must avoid conflicts of interest or the appearance of conflicts of interest. So I don't speak for the Ethics Commission. It'd be up to them to interpret that and decide it. But I think it is possible that you could have situations where there is an appearance of a conflict without an actual conflict, where they would find that that would be a violation of the ordinance.
Right. So theoretically, somebody who's actually done nothing wrong could be subject to some sort of sanction.
I don't know it's hard for me to visualize what the circumstances would be.
I totally get it. I can't think of anything either, but that's what concerns me about having the word appearance in there, because it does create a scenario where potentially somebody could have not done anything wrong, but yet they could be sanctioned as a result of this ordinance.
Yeah, I mean, it would, the something, I'm hung up on the something wrong because that's for the Ethics Commission to determine, but it would be clearly something other than an actual conflict of interest.
Right.
Because that's the first part of the sentence.
Yeah. So again, and I know we're getting into a lot of semantics here, but to me, I agree with Representative Rock. The word appearance there creates a very nebulous definition, and you could theoretically have somebody who winds up getting sanctioned who hasn't actually done something wrong, and I don't think that's what we want to get into. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Astorita. I'm going to go to members that haven't spoken yet. I had Representative Pistilli. Oh, I'm sorry, Representative Pistilli. I had Representative McCabe before you. I didn't even realize she hasn't spoken yet. Thank you. Sorry about that. I have two lists going here.
Oh, whoops. Sharon Pistilli, District 5. I'm in favor of removing appearance. Just because like there are situations where, depending on employment and relationships to the town, where there is not a conflict of interest, and it'd be really easy for somebody to point and say appearance when in fact, you have to abide by certain compliance issues. So I'm in favor of removing it.
Thank you. Representative McCabe.
Michelle McCabe, District 4. I'm also in favor of removing this because I'm curious, and I don't know if this is a question that Attorney Pierce can answer, but is there anything in the charter when it's dictating how the Ethics Commission is to handle complaints? It says in the ordinance, all public officials must avoid the appearance of conflicts of interest. Is there any document that would allow a public official to know what appearance of conflict of interest means by definition? In other words, how would we know to avoid an appearance if it isn't spelled out, or how would the Ethics Commission handle if somebody's being accused of the appearance of conflicts of interest?
So that term's not defined by the charter. So, I mean, the answer is it would be up to the commission to decide. It's not otherwise defined anywhere.
Okay, I'm going to go back to the list of members that have spoken. I have Representative Georgiadis next.
I want to thank Representative Steele and Attorney Piers for answering my question. And I also am going to support the amendment to remove appearance, because there is a certain level where you can instill fear and stop someone from participating, or maybe being part of a committee or whatever, if they think that there's any chance that they will be brought up just for an appearance and not the actual conflict of interest. Thank you.
Thank you. And back to Representative Wackerman.
Thank you. This has been such a great discussion. I've been going back and forth, but I actually am sticking with my original motion. But I have a question for Attorney Piers. If make him pop up again, I'm sorry. Through you, Madam Moderator.
I'm here.
Okay, thanks. Phil, would you say that the statement of purpose at the beginning of the statute is not something the Ethics Commission would enforce? I think it's sort of meant to sort of say, here's why we're doing this. But because the reason I'm asking is that perhaps we could add, the people should avoid the appearance of conflicts there, so that there's a charge to try to do that and an encouragement to be super careful, but it's not something that could be acted on. Or do you think that would be considered part of the ordinance, and anything violated in that purpose section could be actionable?
I think the purpose section is just that. It's a statement of the purpose, and it kind of describes general principles. I don't think it otherwise sets forth actionable, prohibitions. I also think that the way you have it drawn already is very broad in terms of what is expected of public officials.
I think that's true. Okay. Thank you very much. That's it.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Either if you have spoke, Representative Longo.
Hi, Melissa Longo, District 1. So I kind of have a two-part question. We had said that conflict of interest is not defined in the charter. So when the Ethics Committee is formed, will they have the authority to define what is a conflict of interest so that there is clearer language going forward? Or that's my first question.
Defer to Attorney Piers on that one.
Sorry if you kind of already answered that, but I'm.
So the standards of conduct in the charter speaks to, that's in Article 11, speaks to certain conflicts of interest and what are defined as conflicts of interest. So you have that, and then you have the language in the ordinance on conflicts of interest. That would be, I think, the guidance to the commission on what is a conflict of interest.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful. My other question was, and this might be to you, Madam Moderator, seeing that we only got this information tonight and we've talked about it for a very long time, do we have to vote on this item specifically tonight, or would this be something that we could maybe,
Right now, the motion is on the table to vote on it.
Okay.
I can certainly entertain any other motions.
Okay, no, I was just curious because I think we're having a lot of questions come up tonight, and it's an important topic, and we all want, the charter to be reformed, and I think it's an important thing. So as I'm just sitting here, that was the second part to my question. Thank you.
Yeah. And thank you, Representative Longo. Any other questions, comments, either if you have spoken or not spoken? Okay. Any public comment on this particular item? Okay. So we're going to go back. I think we're going to do a roll call vote on this. And this is simply for, my glasses again. This is simply for section 21-4, item A. And this is the amendment that Representative Garskoff put forth. If you are voting in favor.
Was from Representative Wackerman to cut that language. So I'm a nay on her
Thank you.
motion. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry. Okay. So we can do a roll call vote. And this is on Representative Wackerman's motion to amend 21-4, which section A, which the amendment would now read, all public officials must avoid conflicts of interest, period. Is that accurate? Whew. All right. Thank you, Representative McKay. Yes, please.
Ken Astorita. Peter Britton. Melissa Longo. Brooke Spiracino.
No.
Tara Cook Littman. Megan McCloat.
No.
Dave Rock. Chris Shea. Bob Ellwinger. Jeff Steele. Cindy Waldron. Jen Hawhuth. Laura Carson. Michelle McCabe. Liz Esma. Josh Garskoff.
No.
Kristen O'Neill. Sharon Pastilli. Jay Wolk. Rob Blanchard. Nancy Donnie. Alex Ocampo. Steve Barretts. Lori Geldenzi. John Kuhn.
Yes.
Scott Nickel. Lenny Brayman.
Yes.
Chris Carroll.
Yes.
Colin Colburn. Christine Ludwizak.
No.
Drew Georgiadis. Lisa Havey. Mark McDermott. Karen Wackerman.
Yes.
Matt Ambrose. Justin Contrado.
Yes.
Margaret Horton.
No.
Pierre Ratsky. Come back on. Motion passes 21 in favor, 13 opposed, 2 abstentions.
Thank you. Okay. Now we are going back to the rest of the Representative McCabe.
Representative McCabe, District 4, I'd like to make a motion to separate all the amendments from each other, please.
Seconded by Representative McDermott. Any discussion on this? All those in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. Representative Carroll had discussion.
Thank you, Madam Moderator. And this may be a question for Clerk Betsy, but I'm confused a little bit. I know that when this discussion, when this item came up for discussion, Liz indicated a motion to approve the overall ethics ordinance, but I don't believe it was seconded. And I just want to get clarity on that. Betsy, if you could clarify that. We're moving forward with the ordinances, but I'm not sure we actually had a second on that. And sometimes it's hard to hear, so.
Thank you.
Which I didn't hear.
Sorry, Liz and Sharon Pastilli.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Carroll. Okay, so we're voting now on the motion to divide all of the amendments separately. Any other discussion on this? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
No.
Okay. And any abstentions?
Abstain.
Yeah. Okay. Pretty sure that motion carries. Okay, the motion to divide the amendments.
32-4-1.
Sorry, carries. And so we will go amendment by amendment at this point. And so the next one that would be up would be in section 21-7 to amend the second sentence to read as follows. The reporting system shall be available 24/7 for people to file reports. Do I have a motion to approve? Representative Waldron, seconded by Representative Pastilli. Oh. I thought we just voted to divide every amendment separately.
We did.
Yeah. Did I get that right? Okay. Attorney Pierce? I thought the motion just carried to, okay. 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 So I think we're sticking with just this amendment. Okay. And again, just to repeat, it would read now, the reporting system shall be available 24/7 for people to file reports. And did I get a motion? I did already get a motion to approve and a second. Any discussion on that? Okay. Any online discussion? Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? All right, that was an easy one. Okay. Now we are going to section 21-7B. The amendment would read, the last sentence to read as follows. All complaints that are received through the town's ethics reporting hotline shall be transmitted to Human Resources and the Ethics Commission. Do I have a motion to approve? Representative O'Neill, seconded by Representative Barretts. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And any abstentions? All right, gaining some traction here. All right, that motion carries. Now we are moving on to the third, which would be subsection 21-2M. It would amend this section to read, public official means a person elected or appointed to a town of Fairfield board, commission, authority, including but not limited to the boards, commissions, and authorities set forth in section 1.4A of the charter, or committee or appointed to a town office set forth in section 1.4B of the town charter, provided, however, that if a public official is also an employee of the town, the ethics policy of the town and any contract with the town that is applicable to such public official shall take precedence in the event of a conflict with this ordinance, except when such public official is alleged to have violated this ordinance only in their capacity as a member of a board, commission, or authority. Do I have a motion to approve?
Recording stopped.
All right, Representative Astorita, seconded by Representative Ratsky. Any discussion on this item? Online? Okay,
Recording in progress.
there we go. Thank you. Seeing none,
Recording stopped.
I'm just going to wait a minute because I want to make sure we're doing everything to have the recordings available.
Recording in progress.
Okay. See. Oh, if somebody
Recording stopped.
would whoever is online, please make sure to not press start and stop on the recording. It's important that we have the recording of all the meetings.
Recording in progress.
Thank you. Okay. So we have the motion on the table for that subsection 21-2M. Seeing no discussion, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? All right. Now, going to, there's two left, if I'm reading this correctly. The next would be section 21-8A, and it would be, the amendment would be to change 60 days to 90 days. Do I have a motion to approve? Was somebody saying? Representative Donnie, seconded by Representative Havey. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? All right, I think it's our last amendment. This is section 21-8B, and we would be deleting the last sentence, which, hold on, let me pull that one up. Sorry, I got to go back to my backup to find, unless somebody has it more quickly. Thank you. That would be appreciated. Representative Astorita will come to the podium and read it.
And as to read District 1, it would be to remove this sentence. A receipt via email or mail for all copies shall be signed by the recipient and returned via email or mail to the town clerk and retained on file.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve? Representative Shea, seconded by Representative Carson. Any discussion on this item? All right. Seeing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions? All right. Any more amendments? Okay. Well, we got to go back to the actual ordinance, so don't get too excited. Okay. So now we have amended the ordinance. Please tell me nobody needs me to read that whole thing. And we're going to go back to our item on the agenda, which we have. Thank you. I appreciate that. All those in favor? Great. Awesome. Thank you. Okay. So now we are discussion on the amended ethics ordinance as a whole. Do we have any discussion? Okay. Online? I'm going to look to our public for comment. I think we're good. All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And abstentions? All right. That was a lot of work by that committee, so thank you to the ethics, the people. That was, I think this is a great thing for the town. Now, before you think you can get out of here, I forgot about the minutes before. So we have to go back and approve the joint committee minutes. So this was actually item number 2 on the agenda that in my excitement of being elected moderator, I forgot about. So do I have a motion to approve? Representative Pistilli, seconded by Representative Shea. Any discussion on this item? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Fabulous. I would love to entertain a motion to adjourn. Representative Wilk, seconded by Representative Nickel. All those in favor?
Madam Moderator. Hello?
Oh.
I typed into the board, you didn't see it.
Yes, for
I-
all
I-
the
I-
matters.
I have another procedural question for Betsy through you.
Oh,
On,
okay.
on item number 4,
Hold on 1 second. Representative, actually,
Carol.
I'm going to have Representative Carroll go first and then Representative Havey. Go for it, Representative Carroll.
Yes, Representative Carroll, District 8, through you to the town clerk. On item number 4, when Joseph Diorio was introduced, there was a motion made to approve him onto this commission or the building committee. Subsequently, other recommended nominees or whatever got up, and those similar motions weren't made. And I think there's some concern that overall, have we procedurally made a motion to approve all 6 members?
I believe that the motion on the table was to approve all 6 members, but
The item was moved. It was the item as a whole. It was moved by Representative McCabe and seconded by Representative Pistilli.
does that answer your question, Representative Carroll?
I hope so, yes.
Okay, thank you. And Representative Havey.
Evening, everyone. Lisa Havey, District 9. I went back and reviewed the YouTube for item number 4, and I couldn't find where a motion had been made or seconded. It's a policy and procedure thing. It's kind of like annoying to me. And I don't want the building committee to set forth unauthorized. So I'd like to make a motion to accept the members of the building committee as presented.
Do I have a second? Representative Pistilli? All right. Any public discussion on this? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Okay. I agree. I want to make sure we have dotted our i's and crossed our t's and have that building committee ready to go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Representative Havey. Okay. So let's go back to, I think we actually technically adjourned already, but all those in favor? Going back to the motion. Opposed? Thank you for bearing with me, and we'll see you next month.
All right.